there's something going on that I don't think many people realise. Donald Trump has said that he's going to be making a speech at the UN soon. He's going to be addressing, and he doesn't just say he's going to be making a speech at the United Nations. He says that he's going to be addressing many people. He literally says the word many. Daniel 9:27, and he shall confirm a covenant with many for 1 week. Okay, Daniel 9:27. Trump's gonna address the UN in front of many. Could that be Daniel 9:27? And also, he said that he's going to be advocating for world peace. For when they shall say peace and safety, then comes sudden destruction upon them like labour pains on a woman, and they shall not escape. I'm going to read you those verses in a minute. But first, pay close attention to what he says. Listen to what he says, guys. It sounds like Daniel 9:27.
The President will travel to New York City on September 22nd to address the United Nations General Assembly on Tuesday, September 23rd.
UN next week, you're going to the UN?
I'll be at the UN. I'll be making a speech, yes.
And are you meeting any other world leaders?
Many of them. Well, I'm meeting many of them. They're being set up.
What is your goal from attending that meeting? What do you hope to get out of it?
World peace. Nobody's done a better job than I've done in world peace. Nobody's settled so many wars as I have.
Daniel 9:27, and he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week, and in the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease, and for the overspreading of abominations he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate. So he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. That is a week of 7 years, which I find interesting because Trump's got his 4 years to do, and then he's talking about like running for a third term. Okay? So that would add up to a seven years. Daniel's 70th week.
And are you meeting any other world leaders?
Many of them.
Many of them.
Did you catch that? He said to the reporters he will be meeting many world leaders, many of them. And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. 7 years.
And are you meeting any other world leaders?
Many of them.
Many of them.
So only a few people have made videos on that, okay? Only a handful of people are talking about it. There's a lot of Christians that aren't speaking about it. He's just said he's going to be addressing many world leaders at the UN. And that sounds like Daniel 9:27 when he confirms the covenant with many. Okay? He also goes on to say, he also says he's going to be talking about world peace. He says world peace.
UN next week, you're going to the UN?
I'll be at the UN. I'll be making a speech, yes.
And are you meeting any other world leaders?
Many of them. Well, I'm meeting many of them. They're being set up.
What is your goal from attending that meeting? What do you hope to get out of it?
World peace. Nobody's done a better job than I've done in world peace. Nobody's settled so many wars as I have.
You heard him, guys, and you saw the guy laughing behind him, okay, when he said he's going to be addressing many. They know it's Daniel 9:27. It could be the covenant with many, Daniel 9:27 in the Bible. Also, he's going to be talking about peace, and he says no one's done a better job at peace than him. Okay? Right? Now look at this. 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Okay? They're talking peace and safety. Donald Trump is addressing the world leaders at the UN for peace and safety, world peace. Not only that, something else very interesting has happened. The UK, Australia, I can't remember them all. Here's the article, put it on the screen. They have announced the official acceptance of a Palestinian state. This is huge. The man that will come, the prince that will come, divides up the land. And he divides up the land and he prospers. Okay? He divides up God's land. The Palestinian state, the Gaza Strip is God's land. It's actually Israel. It's part of Israel. That's Jesus' land. And they've just announced, the UK Prime Minister has just announced the Palestinian state. They're recognising a Palestinian state. So they have divided up his land as well. But before I get into that scripture where I show you about them dividing up his land, which is to do with the Palestinian state, look, okay, as I've already shown you, Trump has mentioned addressing many. Daniel 9:27, the covenant confirmed with many. That could be a prophecy about to be fulfilled. He also talks about world peace. When they shall say peace and safety, that could be another prophecy fulfilled. That's 2. And then we have the dividing up God's land. That's 3 Bible prophecies happening right now. And no one's talking about it, only a few people. Keir Starmer and other world leaders are also the same people, okay, that have recognised the Palestinian state are talking peace and safety. Watch.
The UK and Australia now formally recognizing the state of Palestine. The 3 nations making a coordinated announcement saying their effort is designed to preserve the possibility of a 2-state solution. France is scheduled to host a summit on recognizing a Palestinian state tomorrow at the UN General Assembly here in New York.
Breaking news. Prime Minister Mark Carney has announced Canada's recognition of a Palestinian state. The Prime Minister's office releasing a statement today saying Canada has always supported a 2-state solution in the Middle East. The Prime Minister also posting on social media his recognition of a state of Palestine, a step the government is hoping will build toward a 2-state solution.
We've got some breaking news for you. Our colleagues at Sky News UK reporting that Prime Minister Keir Starmer will officially recognise Palestinian statehood tomorrow.
I set out in July the terms upon which we would act in line with our manifesto to recognise Palestinian statehood. That moment has now arrived. So today, to revive the hope of peace and a 2-state solution, I state clearly, as Prime Minister of this great country, that the United Kingdom formally recognises the state of Palestine.
He's just recognised the state of Palestine, which has divided up Israel. Gaza belongs to Israel. Joel 3:2. I will gather all the nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. There I will enter into judgment against them concerning my people, my inheritance, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations as they divided up my land. They are dividing up Jesus' land. There is no Palestine. It's Israel. That belongs to Jesus. And he's going to enter into judgment with the nations that have divided it up. They've just recognised a Palestinian state which has divided up God's land. That is fulfilment of Joel 3:2.
We recognised the state of Israel more than 75 years ago as a homeland for the Jewish people. Today, we join over 150 countries who recognise a Palestinian state also. A pledge to the Palestinian and Israeli people that there can be a better future. We must channel our efforts, united together in hope, behind the peaceful future that we want to see. The release of the hostages, an end to the violence, an end to the suffering, and a shift back towards a 2-state solution as the best hope for peace and security for all sides as the best hope for peace and security, as the best hope for peace and security.
For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. 1 Thessalonians 5:3. He just said peace and security.
As the best hope for peace and security for all sides, as the best hope for peace and security, as the best hope for peace and security.
Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has arrived in New York, where he will use this week's United Nations General Assembly meeting to recognise a state of Palestine.
We want to see is increased peace and security and stability around the world. We want to see is increased peace and security and stability around the world.
Here we go, guys. It's happening. It's happening. You just heard another guy say that. He just said we're looking for peace and security around the world, worldwide. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction come upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. It's happening, guys. They're calling for peace and security like never before. Constant. Donald Trump is going to be addressing the UN with a speech for world peace.
Is increased peace and security and stability around the world. We want to see is increased peace and security and stability around the world.
So as I proved to you today in this video by putting it all together, the Bible verses and what they're saying, you can see that there's 3 Bible prophecies right now that could be about to be fulfilled. Daniel 9:27, when the Antichrist, the prince to come, addresses many. That could be Donald Trump addressing the UN. Okay? Then they're going to say peace and safety, and then sudden destruction comes upon them. They're all saying peace and safety. Donald Trump, Keir Starmer, all of them saying peace and safety, calling for peace. There's another one that could be another one about to be filled. Peace and safety. Daniel 9:27, covenant confirmed with many, and then the dividing up God's land. He's going to enter into judgment with the nations concerning his people Israel, who they scattered among the nations as they divided up his land. Something's about to happen, guys. Sudden destruction's about to hit. Now, we don't know where it's going to come from, because on the news, we've got Russia entering NATO's airspace, okay? So we've got this thing going on with Russia and the jets, entering Estonia and Poland with drones. Now, the sudden destruction could come from Russia upon America. It could come on Israel from the surrounding Islamic nations. It could come from Hamas again. There could be sudden destruction coming from somewhere, so we have to pay attention. But this is what's headlining the news right now.
With that breaking story, the developing story we've seen over the last hour or so, because Estonia's government says 3 Russian military jets entered NATO airspace without permission on Friday morning and stayed there for nearly 12 minutes. In a statement on X, a NATO spokesman said NATO responded immediately and intercepted the Russian jets, which had violated Estonian airspace, adding this is yet another example of reckless Russian behaviour and NATO's ability to respond.
The UK Ministry of Defence has confirmed that British fighter jets flew their first sorties over Poland overnight as part of the Allied response to Russian threats in European airspace.
So you can see what's going on, guys. You've got Donald Trump addressing the United Nations for world peace. That he could be the man of sin. That's what the man of sin does, the Antichrist. And everyone's going to go, oh no, Trump's not the Antichrist. He could be confirming the covenant with many. Daniel's 9:27 at the UN today. Okay? They're calling for peace and safety, right? And it's just come through now as well. I'm just looking on my thingy. It's just come through 2 hours ago. UK tells Israel not to retaliate as France set to recognise Palestinian state. So France is recognising Palestine as a state as well. They're dividing up God's land, which means God, he must be coming soon. He must be coming back to the earth soon. Because what happens is The Antichrist, this, I'm telling you now, guys, you've got to pay close attention. The Antichrist sets up an image of himself. Now, I don't know, but could that be the abomination of desolation that comes on the wing of the temple set up in Gaza, Palestine? Because Trump shared an AI-generated video of a golden image of himself in Gaza. The Antichrist comes, divides up the land, prospers for gain, sets up an image of himself and forces everyone to bow to it. I'm not saying that's what it is, but come on guys, pay close attention. You just like, oh, it's not Trump. How do you know it's not? We've got to put our egos aside here and look at what's happening and what the Bible says. Okay? Trump is fulfilling the role of the biblical Antichrist, the beast of Revelation and Daniel. And the world's blind. So this is what's just come through now regarding UK warning Israel not to retaliate as France to recognise Palestinian state. They're backstabbing Israel. All the nations, the UK, France, all of them are backstabbing Israel. Okay? Trump's going to come in. It's going to be like arguing between Israel and Hamas and the UK and France, and it's all bickering. Trump's going to come in. I know what we'll do for you, Israel. I know how to solve this. I will take over Gaza. America will take over the Strip. And then he's going to set up a bloody golden image of himself, isn't he, in the Holy Land on the wing of the temple. Could that be it?
Foreign Secretary Yvette Cooper says she's warned Israel not to annex parts of the West Bank in retaliation for the UK's formal recognition of Palestinian statehood. She said that the government was committed to a two-state solution in the region. Ms. Cooper was speaking to the BBC before attending the UN General Assembly in New York, where France and other European states are due to make a similar announcement. Well, this follows Sunday's coordinated announcements by the UK, Canada, Australia and Portugal. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has accused those who recognize Palestine of rewarding terrorists. He insisted Palestinian statehood would not happen. And the Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas welcomed the move as a step towards lasting regional peace. Hamas called it a victory.
Now guys, like really think about it, okay? They've announced the recognition of a Palestinian state after Donald Trump visited the UK. Donald Trump visits the UK for his second state visit with King Charles. Okay, they have this banquet dinner, right? He meets Keir Starmer, and then literally a couple of days later, they recognise a Palestinian state. Do you not find that a bit fishy? Now watch this. Donald Trump said America's going to own the Gaza Strip. He's going to take over it and he's going to do a job with it too. Okay? Then I'm going to show you an AI-generated video that he shared on his official page on X of him in Gaza setting up a golden image of himself. We're told there's an abomination that causes desolation gets set up on the wing of the temple.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area.
So Donald Trump just said America's going to take over the Gaza Strip. They're going to do a job with it too, creating loads of jobs, building new houses, and they're basically going to prosper. Trump's going to prosper. America's going to prosper in Gaza. Daniel 11:39. Thus shall he do in the most strongholds with a strange god. Is that Apollo, who he has in his on his ceiling in his house? Thus shall he do in the most strongholds with a strange god, whom he shall acknowledge, and increase with glory, and he shall cause them to rule over many, and shall divide the land for gain. What land? The Holy Land, the Gaza Strip that belongs to God. Matthew 24, 15, 16. So when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by the prophet Daniel standing in the holy place, let the reader understand. Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. There's going to be an abomination of desolation set up on the wing of the temple. Could it be set up in Gaza on the strip? Will this be the image of the beast in Revelation, a statue of the Antichrist? Revelation 13:15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. He also causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark inside their right hand or inside their foreheads, and no man can buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. There's going to be an image to the man of sin set up, and I believe it could be set up on the wing of the temple, which could be the abomination of desolation.
This video is bizarre, some would say outright offensive. A 30-second AI-generated clip showing the future vision of Gaza. And yes, it was shared by President Donald Trump on his social media accounts. Let's take it back to the beginning, where you see a Gaza in ruins, somehow transformed into a golden Gulf paradise. And wait, let me pause for the music. Then there's what looks like an Elon Musk eating hummus, bearded men in belly dancing outfits, and of course, the Donald himself. Now, you may remember President Trump shocked the world when he suggested Gaza should be turned into the Riviera of the Middle East, and the Palestinians living there displaced from the enclave. Well, this seems to be an illustration of that scheme. And here's the real kicker: Prime Minister Netanyahu and Donald Trump lounging, enjoying the AI-generated luxury of it all.
Finally here. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza number one. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza number one.
So I'm sorry, guys, for those of you that don't believe that Donald Trump's the man of sin. I think you're wrong. I think there's enough evidence to prove he is. He is addressing the UN today, which could be the covenant confirmed with many, Daniel 9:27. The prince to come will also divide up the land and prosper for gain. We've just seen that. He's going to take, and he's also said he's going to take over the Gaza Strip himself. He said that with Netanyahu next to him. So this is clearly the plan. Donald Trump came over to the UK, and then a couple of days after his UK visit, the UK announced a Palestinian state. It's obvious what's going on. Trump's going to take over the Gaza Strip and he's going to rule from there. And they're going to set up an image of him on the wing of the temple and force everyone to worship it. And when they don't, he has them killed, probably by using Hamas. He'll probably get Hamas to kill him or something. Who knows? Who knows how this is going to play out? But come on, look at the Bible, look at what it's saying, and look at what they're doing, and look at what they're saying. Okay? It's in front of your face. Donald Trump, he shared that AI-generated video of himself with a golden image of himself in Gaza. Why would you do that? It's the Holy Land. It's Jesus' land. Why would you put a golden image of yourself there? Come on, guys. It's not normal. I wouldn't do that of myself, would you? That's not normal behaviour for a normal person. Yet he did it. He also shared this. Soon the world will understand. Nothing can stop what's coming. I think I have a very clear picture of what's coming now. I think I can see, as I presented to you today in the video. I think Donald Trump is the son of perdition. I really do. I'm going to do a video soon about MAGA and the whole movement of MAGA and the church uniting with state and how that's a big no-no. We shouldn't be doing that. He's going to prosper. He's going to divide up the land and eventually backstab Israel and invade Israel. That's what he's going to do. Okay? Beast rises from the sea. He's going to come from America. And you're going to have another one rise from the land somewhere in the Middle East. And you got, look, you can clearly see what's going on, guys. Palestinian state, they're dividing up Gaza land. Donald Trump's addressing the UN for world peace. What's that sound like to you? That sounds like the Antichrist. He's not been revealed yet, but he's going to be revealed. Just hang in there, he's going to be revealed. And then the people won't be able to say, oh, you know, no. He's going to be revealed. Okay? I think it's him. I think it's Donald Trump. Okay? Soon, the world will understand. Nothing can stop what's coming. He also shared that too on his official account. Ignore it if you like, guys, but I'm presenting you the evidence in front of you. Anyway, that's it for this video. Pay close attention to what's going on, UN. Okay, peace and safety, sudden destruction, Daniel 9:27. He confirms a covenant with many. Don't forget that. That's the Antichrist. So if he confirms a covenant with many at the UN, then Trump's the Antichrist. Simple as that. Okay? And then you got the dividing up God's land, the nations doing it. So it's all happening, guys. The gospel of your salvation is written in 1 Corinthians 15:3-4. For I delivered unto you first of all that which I also received, how that Christ died for our sins according to the scriptures, that he was buried, and that he rose again the third day according to the scriptures. Believe in the gospel and you shall be saved. I do think the Lord's coming. We're definitely at the end.
More in 6 months than almost any administration could accomplish in 8 years, and we're going to have a lot of good 6 months left. We're going to have a 6 and another 6 and another 6, and we'll keep going. And we're going to really do something.
So we're going to have a 6 and another 6 and another 6, and we'll keep going.